matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA096.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can
Taylor,
do
we are
for you.
back.
Ask what you can do for
We're back.
Chaos
And
Goblin.
I'm a Chaos Goblin, and we're back. And I just opened this whiskey Mai Tai. I don't know. I drank my body weight in Prosecco this week, but here I am.
It's you know what I chalk it up to? Is this the holidays? It's going to be long. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be a lot of weird stuff happening, and it's
I
just
gained a couple pounds, but you know what? Also, like, I feel like in like the 2000s and probably now, even though because I don't read many like women's magazines, it's always like how to avoid gaining 2 pounds during the holidays, and it's like just fucking eat some Christmas cookies and shut up, you know?
I mean, just you deal with it in January.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a January problem. It's
It's
not
a
a
January problem.
December problem.
No, have fun. Eat whatever you want between Thanksgiving and December, and don't worry about it. Just have fun.
Yeah, just slowly melt into your couch and
Yeah,
enjoy it.
that's what the week between Christmas and New Year's is for. All that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I'm melting into this chair that I'm sitting in right now. So I'm with you.
Nice, nice. I like that. Good for you.
Would you like to intro us?
Yes, hello. Welcome to Doomed to Fail. We bring you historical disasters and failures, and I am Taylor, joined by Fars.
And we are here on this lovely day telling a story that Taylor has devised, which I'm sure will be riveting.
Thank you. So it actually is it has nothing to do with the holidays. I thought like maybe I should do something for the holidays, and I didn't do that. But so the event that I was at this week, there's another meeting of the same kind next quarter in New Orleans, and I want to go because I want to go there. Have you been there to New Orleans? I'm gonna say it different every time I say it, like the way I say data and data. So just I'm letting everybody know.
So we used to go to Shreveport a lot because Shreveport's
Hmm.
right on the border of Texas, and it
Hmm.
is really close to Dallas. It's like a couple hour drive, and that's where gambling was doable. And
Hmm.
so when we turned 18, we're like, let's go to Shreveport, and we're just trying to be explore and do kid stuff like that. I had a chance to go to New Orleans this year, but it was gonna be like in August, and I was
I
like,
know I went
man,
in
this
August.
sounds rough.
I know I went in August one time and it was very rough.
I hear Halloween in New Orleans is supposed to be amazing. I
Oh, I
do love
bet.
these spooky vibes. I think there's something about that in Savannah that are very, very appealing to me, but I've never
Oh
been.
yeah. We talk about Savannah all the time. Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely want to go. I remember it went in August and I remember like the people that we were with, like everyone was just like soaking wet. Like you're just like so sweaty. It was so gross because
It's
it was awful.
crazy. It's great.
Yeah.
It is very similar. So if anybody here is listening in Houston, it's pretty similar to Houston. Like
Mm-hmm.
well, you wouldn't know because you live in Houston, but like whoever's listening, I mean, but when you go to Houston, you immediately just break out sweating, and it is so uncomfortable for the first couple of days.
I feel like I was like did a transfer in the airport in Houston and I was like, this sucks. I was like
Yeah,
inside, but you
it's
could feel
rough.
it. It like penetrated the walls.
It's rough
Yeah.
going.
So this has nothing to do with Christmas, but it has to do with New Orleans. I'm going to tell you a real classic true crime story. Can you think of who it's about?
Is it Kate
Class.
Hudson and Skeleton Key?
No, but oh my God, it's so good. I told you how I watched it, and I remember my roommate and I did our like went through all of our receipts because we were so scared.
So fun.
What a good one. No, I want to tell you about the Axeman of New Orleans. Have you heard about
I
him?
know about the Axeman, who's also known
Hmm.
as the Jazz Man, I believe.
I know he is.
Okay.
Yes, both axes and jazz. And I'm going to read you the entirety of the jazz stuff in a second. But this one has it all: axes, murders, jazz, and humidity. The
Well, you
four
need the
things
four
that you need.
vectors of a good story.
Yeah, this is everything. So it is May 1918, and we're in New Orleans. So it's May, so I assume it's already hot and humid. And it's World War One, so there's that happening in the background. New Orleans is also, I just learned this also, one of the nicknames of many is the Crescent City because of the way that like the river
Yeah,
comes in and
The
like the
Mississippi Delta. Yeah.
okay. I just heard that, but also Crescent City is the name of the book series that I've been reading. And although no one has emailed me about these romantasy books that I've been reading when I'm asking them to, I just want to say out loud to the one person who knows what I'm talking about that I heard the Crescent City book 4 is next. Please write me an email. You know who you are.
She is looking very intently into the camera, so she
If
means it.
any of if those words make sense to you, email me so we can talk about it.
Even if they don't
So
make sense, just write to her and say you know.
just write to me anyway. But besides that, let me know. So before the arrival of European colonists, the Choctaw people lived in the area. They called it Bulb, Bulba Ancha, which translates to land of many tongues. This was a place where like a lot of tribes could would meet, obviously because it's the bottom of like the river and like a port and all those things. The French took control of it in the early 1700s. Then after the Seven Years' War, it went to Spain and it became part of the United States in 1803.
Wait,
Just so you know.
Spain owned.
Yeah, because Spain owned like New Orleans through Texas through California and then like
Oh,
that then and then I think it was all part of the Louisiana Purchase, which was like most of the West.
was that France that sold us Louisiana?
Yeah, because remember, okay, well, shit, hold on. I feel like
I don't
Napoleon had a big
think.
part of this.
I don't think
Because
Spain
do you
owned
remember
New
Napoleon?
Orleans.
No, remember Napoleon sent gave us a big part of that because and he afterwards he was like, I probably should have done that, but he was never ever gonna come over here. Gave the U.S.
But he gave the U.S.
Yeah, that's a Louisiana Purchase. Everything across the Mississippi River doubled the size of, yeah, 1903 Louisiana Purchase. Crucial port of New Orleans was $15 million. It doubled the size of the U.S. TJ was president, and Napoleon needed the money.
Okay, so it wasn't Spain that owned it. France owned it.
Yeah, but Spain owned it before then and gave it to France after the
Okay,
Seven Years'
okay,
War.
okay. I got it the other way around. I thought you said France owned it, gave it to Spain. We'll play this back and we'll find out who's right and wrong. But okay,
I
no
did
matter
say
what,
that.
it was.
Maybe it's the other way around. It doesn't matter. It's ours now, bitches. Okay, that's all. So it's about 100 years or so after, and we'll talk about the Axeman, who is a serial killer, maybe. We'll talk about who he killed, some maybes, and then how he did it. You ready?
Yes.
So it's May 23rd, 1918, and Italian grocer Joseph Maggio and his wife Catherine are asleep. A lot of our victims are going to be Italian grocery store owners,
It's so sad.
just so you know. I, why? Because of the good Italian foods that are probably there?
They're doing nothing but providing you
I
fresh
know.
sausage and pasta. Like what? Why would you hurt
Exactly.
them?
Exactly. No, totally. And also, everything's going to happen in like the middle of the night. And I know that I talked about this before. I've mentioned this book a bunch of times, but I have a book called The Invention of Murder. And the Invention of Murder book opens up with a story of a woman who is like a maid, a housekeeper, whatever, at a house in London. And they have her go out and run an errand at night. And it's so dark, it's hard for her to find her way back because there's like no streetlights. Like, it's just so dark when it gets dark. And then she also gets back and everyone's been murdered and it's like a whole thing. But you just like don't know where you are. So it's just like imagine it's super dark, it's humid, it's
A lot of
foggy
mosquitoes,
probably.
probably.
Oh yeah, probably a lot of mosquitoes. So he someone breaks into the house of Joseph and Catherine and he slices their throats while they're sleeping. Catherine's head is almost severed. It's like a straight razor that he uses, and her head's cut like to her shoulders. Like she's super dead after this. Then he axes them and takes the axe and like chops them up a little bit before he leaves. Nearby on the sidewalk, someone, presumably the killer, wrote in chalk, he wrote, Mrs. Maggio will sit up tonight just like Mrs. Tony. And Mrs. Tony was another Italian grocer who was killed a few like 6 years before in 1912. So
Whoa.
this had happened before. So like, could it be the same guy? I don't have an answer to that. We don't know. But like something similar had happened before. It also reminds me of Jack the Ripper. Because do you remember and when we talked about Jack the Ripper, how he would write stuff with chalk on the walls?
Yeah.
And like everybody just kind of had chalk in their pocket, which I feel like I wish I knew more about. Like, because you would have to like write things. Like if you and I were, if I was like far as meet me at this place, and then I got there and all of a sudden I had to leave, I would write on the sidewalk, like far as I'll be back in 30 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you, there's no way to do anything to communicate. So you would write, use chalk all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
which is wild. And if I can never see that in movies, and I wish I saw more of it, I guess is my point. But Joe lives for a little bit, a little bit, like laying in bed. What a terrible night. Like laying in bed, kind of half conscious. Your wife has been like pretty much decapitated. You've been axed and had your throat slit. His brother Andrew lived in the apartment next door, and he was drunk, but he heard them like rustling around, and he went in there and didn't see anyone leaving, but did like see his brother. His brother was alive for a few minutes, then his brother died. The blade belonged to Andrew. Andrew was a barber, but he had taken it home for like some other reason. So the weapon was, from the house. It wasn't something that the killer brought in. And Andrew, the brother, was the main suspect for a while, but then he was exonerated. He wasn't the guy who did it. And nothing was stolen. The killer left his bloody clothes in the apartment. He changed. So I don't know if he brought new clothes or wore like Joseph's clothes. But he left his bloody clothes on the floor and then left naked. I don't know. And then they found the razor a couple houses down in the yard.
Weird. Yeah, he must have
Oh,
changed into the guy's clothes.
yeah, he must have. Or like it feels so weird to bring clothes, but I guess that could be an option too.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym and then knowing you're going to shower there, except
Yeah, mur
different.
blood.
Right.
Yeah. So that's scary. And now there's a murderer out. And there's a couple of things that happen, a couple murders that come next that we're not 100% sure are the same guy, but they could be. So on a month later, on June 27th, Louis Bessemer and his mistress Harriet Lowe are in the bedroom behind his grocery store, and he's hatcheted in the head, and she's hatcheted in her head over her left ear, and they're both alive. So as soon the police find them, like people find them in the morning, but they've been laying there all night, like bleeding from their heads, and they immediately blame a black guy who was working for them, but that guy ended up getting off. But there was no evidence at all. Harriet said that it was a like a man who was like maybe mixed race that had done it, like she had maybe seen him. And then again, nothing was stolen. But then she said that Louis did it, that the guy that she was with had did it, and that he was a German spy because it's World War One, and he got arrested. And then she dies a month later from like complications of surgery because like I can't even imagine like sewing her head back together and the
Wait, so she said the
complications.
guy that got axed with her is the one that axed her?
Yes. And he's charged for murder after she dies from surgery.
Wasn't he axed?
Yes.
Huh.
I also don't know how you axe yourself. Or like that feels like a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like someone who had a traumatic brain injury.
Like if you were like I've heard of people like shooting someone and like you shoot yourself in the leg and you're like someone shot at us.
Yeah.
But like you don't axe yourself in the head.
No, that's a rough way to get away from that.
Yeah. So the things that are against like this being part of it is just that like um some people think it might have been something like domestic or something that involves the family, but I mean, nothing was stolen. It's an Italian grocer, and they were axed. I feel like that fits my bill. Middle of
I
the
think
night being
so.
axed. Yeah, it seems like it might be part of it. Another one, a couple days later, on August 5th, there's a woman named Anna Schneider. She's 8 months pregnant. She sees someone looming over her bed. They're alone, and she's axed in the face also. Her husband finds her a couple hours later because he comes home from work, and she's okay, and also the baby's okay. It's a girl. The baby was fine. Nothing was stolen aside for a few dollars, but she was probably hit. Oh, I'm sorry, she wasn't axed. She was bashed. So she was bashed in the head probably by a lamp that was like by her bedside, but it didn't kill her. And they arrested an ex-convict. He was released. So like it could be just because it's dangerous to be around this area, like it's dangerous to be alive, or it could be the guy. That one's not like proven to be him.
Hmm.
Those are the two iffy ones. So that one's a little iffy because like he didn't find anything sharp, but still he hit her. And but maybe he was like targeting women and like saw she was pregnant and then like decided to hit her again. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like I don't know other things. But now the next ones we know are him, whoever he is. So on August 10th, an old man named Joseph Romano is found by his nieces, Pauline and Mary. The girls say they saw a dark-skinned, heavyset man running away. Joseph dies 2 days later, and again, nothing was stolen. There was a bloody axe in the yard, and a panel on the door had been chiseled away. So that's going to be his like MO from now on, that like he cut a big part of the door out and then like the assumption is that he climbed through, but I also feel he could have
Yeah,
gotten
reached
through
in.
the lock. Yeah, exactly. Um, So maybe that. And this is when people start to get really scared. Like now we think that there might be a guy going around axing people in town. So you get to be a little bit nervous. So some of the theories that we have is like, is this the same guy from 1911, 1912? Also, is it the man on the train? Because remember the axe murder one that you did of that family?
Who was the family?
The Veselka axe murders
You
when
did
that
that
family.
one.
I thought you did it.
You did it.
No, I think you did it. It
Okay,
doesn't matter.
we can debate it, but like, yeah, I know which one you're talking
Um,
about.
whatever that one. So like those people who were murdered, they could be the same guy. And then like another one is like I don't know where I read it, but like could it have been Jack the Ripper? Because that was like 20 years before,
Yes,
which is like
yes.
not at all the same MO. It's just like that he's just like scary and like mysterious, but I think that would be fun.
That was like, wasn't that like the great grandnephew of Jack the Ripper that made that up? Maybe I think about H.H. Holmes. Never mind. I'm mixing
Oh,
things
maybe.
up.
Oh no, yeah, because there's always a guy who like says it was my grandpa or whatever.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
and you're like, it's not like your grandpa's not that interesting. There's no way. But still, that thing. So whoever he is, the Axeman takes a few months off, and then on March 10th, 1919, Italian immigrant Charles Cortimiglia and his family, his wife Rosie and their baby daughter Mary, were screaming, and their neighbor, who was an Italian grocer, so they lived like next door to a grocery store, heard them screaming. The baby dies from being axed, but nothing was stolen, and the door panel had been chiseled off, just like in the last one. So that starts to be the things that are happening.
The
So
MO.
like yeah, so robbery is not the motive. It's definitely to kill people. So Rosie says, it's my neighbors who did this. So the neighbor is the Italian grocer and his 18-year-old son. And she says, they definitely did it. And they're like, what are you talking about? We just came here to help you. You know, like we did not do this. But they get charged, and the son, who's 18, gets sentenced to hanging, and the dad gets sentenced to life. So the neighbors, who are the Italian grocers, are the ones who get convicted of doing this. Charles and Rosie, they're still alive. And so Charles is like, Rosie, you're being insane. Like that is not what happened. They did not do it. And he divorces her because he's so mad at her for like accusing their neighbors of doing this. And after a year, she admits that she made it all up and both of them get out of jail.
It was this at a time when Arabs, when Italians weren't considered white yet. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So there is some like race stuff and like mafia related stuff. Like what are the reasonings behind this? But yes, there's definitely discrimination against Italian people during
Yep.
this time. Yeah.
Tracks.
So right after this, right, on March 13th, 1919, we get the famous letter from the jazz man that goes to a
This is
newspaper,
so
and
amazing.
I'm going to read the whole thing.
This is my favorite
I
thing.
I haven't practiced. I'm just going to read the whole thing to you. So
Okay.
buckle up. I do like at the very top of the letter, you know how you put like, remember how we had to learn how to write formal letters? That's dumb.
I
But like,
don't, but
If
sure.
you put like your name and your address in the top right corner and like the date
Oh
on the
yeah,
side,
yeah.
like that kind of thing. But it starts off with hell, March 13th, 1919. So he's writing from hell. That's
Oh,
like
that's
where
so
he's
cool.
writing. Yeah. So, esteemed mortal, it starts for you. They have never caught me, and they never will. They have never seen me, for I am invisible, even as the ether that surrounds your earth. I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axeman. When I see fit, I shall come and claim other victims. I alone know whom they shall be. I shall leave no clue except my bloody axe, besmeared with blood and brains of he whom I've sent below to keep me company. If you wish, you may tell the police to be careful not to rile me. Of course, I am a reasonable spirit. I take no offense at the way they have conducted their investigations in the past. In fact, they have been so utterly stupid as to not only amuse me, but His Satanic Majesty, Francis, Joseph, etc. But tell them to beware. Let them not try to discover what I am, for it were better that they were never born than to incur the wrath of the Axeman. I don't think there is any need of such a warning, for I feel sure the police will always dodge me as they have in the past. They are wise and know how to keep away from all harm. Undoubtedly, you Orleanians think of me as the most horrible murderer, which I am, but I could be much worse if I wanted to. If I wished, I could pay a visit to your city every night. At will, I could slay thousands of your best citizens, for I am in close relationship with the angel of death. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time, on next Tuesday night, I am going to pass over New Orleans. In my infinite mercy, I'm going to make a little proposition to you people. Here it is. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time I've just mentioned. If everyone has a jazz band going, well then so much the better for you people. One thing is certain, and that is some of your people who do not jazz it out on that specific Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe. Well, as I am cold and crave the warmth of my native terrorists, man, I don't know what that means, hell, and it's about time I leave your earthly home, I will cease my discourse, hoping that thou wilt publish this, that it may go well with thee. I have been and will be the worst spirit that ever existed, either in fact or realm of fantasy. The Axeman.
Okay, several comments here.
Please, I'm excited.
Okay, I only remember the jazz part because that was really like Hannibal Lecter-y,
Mm-hmm.
but he sounds like an absolute dweeb. I'm gonna pass over New Orleans, the dark one, mere mortal. Like it's just like
Mm-hmm.
shut up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He just sounds like a
Oh my
nerd.
God, so funny. Well, absolutely sounds like a nerd. I do feel like he's a good writer, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, it's very stimulating writing. Sure.
Right? I think it's kind of fun. And I also think that that night would have been really fucking fun because
Oh my
people did
God.
it.
Oh my
Every
God.
jazz band in New Orleans was booked. Every jazz club was full of people. Like, that's fun as shit. Like, you walk down the street, every house has jazz playing as loud as humanly possible at midnight 15. I love that.
Dude, they should have remade Halloween for that night.
They
How
should have.
fun would it have been if everybody's doors are open, they're blasting jazz, and kids are running around with like axes. Like, it'd be so cool.
I know. I think that part, like, and that night passed and no one got axed, which I think is fun. I don't know. I think that seems like one of the funnest nights in American history.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, like everyone's kind of scared, but you're out and listening to jazz and it's humid and you're like walking around and like just I don't know, that seems really fun.
How many guys at bars were talking to women, being like, "Hey, this could be our last night."
1,000%. Hey babe,
Thousand.
I got a trumpet at home. Do you
Yeah,
want to come over?
exactly.
I'll keep you safe. I'll play my trombone all night.
So fun.
So fun. So that goes in the paper. That's the only time he ever communicates with like anyone. Like if it is one person, if this is written by him, all the things. But I think it's super fun, and that night would have been really fun. So that's in March. And he takes a little bit of a break. And then on August 10th, a another grocer, his name is Steve Boca, is attacked by a dark figure. He has his head cracked open and he lives. He runs into the street for help, and his neighbor comes and helps him and all the things, which I mean, I feel like out of this story, 6 people died and like 16 were injured. I feel like those he didn't kill as many people as I would have suspected,
Yeah, the
I
body's
guess.
really resilient. Your skull is super,
Yeah.
super thick. Like you got to really work at
Yeah.
it to get to the insides.
Yeah, yeah, but at Steve's house, it's the same thing. Nothing's taken. There's the axe, the bloody axe found around the scene, and the door was chiseled open, or the panel was chiseled off. On September 3rd, a woman named Sarah Lauman, who lived alone, she was only 19. She was hit by a blunt object through an open window, but recovered. That kind of feels like that one might not be a part of it because it doesn't follow the pattern, but that's another thing that happened then. And then finally, the last one is on October 27th, 1919. A man named Mike Pepitone is axed in the head. His wife said that she saw someone large running away, and he did die.
Was he a
And that's
grocer?
it. I think so. I think he
Can
was
I
definitely
propose a
Italian.
theory?
Yes.
Because this would have been around the time when like union and worker stuff was like crazy violent.
Hmm.
What if it was like some group trying to unionize grocery people?
Yeah, I think
And
that
these people all own grocery stores, and
right,
maybe
and they're
they
trying
like,
to intimidate.
yeah.
I think that's interesting because there
Or
are the
you know what?
theories of like
Actually, I'll go
Italians.
even more, I guess, prejudiced with it. They're all Italian. What
I
if it was like
know.
a mob thing? What if like the mob was trying to like break into the pasta business? I don't know, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Like the mob thing is like a real theory. I didn't see the union thing, but that also kind of makes sense to me too.
because the union kind of back then, like
Hmm.
They were both sides were scary.
Yeah, I feel like I've been interested to learn more about that too, right? Because like the union guys would kill you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Union Busters would kill the Union guys. Like they were actually very scary groups of people.
Yeah, maybe it is that. Maybe it is the um maybe it is the union busting or something.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna get
Just
into like the suspects
yeah,
list.
well,
So
here are my other theories. Here's what we know. If the letter is real, we have someone who like has to do with jazz music, I think is like a pretty good writer, so he has like some education, you know. And like maybe like if maybe he like hated jazz people like all that stuff that's kind of weird like it's only mentioned one time so there's that we know that about them we know he loves murdering people we know that like there's evidence that maybe he went for the women first and so like maybe he wanted to murder women for some reason um it could be someone who hates Italian people
wait,
it
do we
could
know
be
that for sure that he went for the women?
it's like
Because
I'm
that's
not going to say like
weird. That's
100%
weird.
but that's like part of the thing is that like in most cases he attacked the woman first.
Because in most situations like this, they go for the man first, because then the woman
Right.
is more helpless.
Right. And as far as I can tell, there's no like sexual assault or anything. It's just like comes in, axes you, and leaves.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Some people think that it could have been a woman because if she like got that little panel of the door off and went through it. But I also feel like I'm picturing, I don't know exactly what I'm picturing. I'm picturing like when I look at like a door in my house, there's like four panels, you know, of like shapes in a door. Do you have those in your doors or are yours flat?
No, I have the glass thing.
No, well, ours have like you know, it's like fake panels. So I'm imagining one of those, and it's like kind of like maybe 2 feet high and like 10 inches wide. So maybe he went through it, but I also feel like he could have done that and just like used that to like flick a latch, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't exactly know how the door thing works, but like maybe it was someone smaller and it was a woman. But I kind of feel like I doubt it was a woman because we don't have many women axe murderers. But I don't know. Women's rights could have been a lady.
Yeah, yeah, we're
Yeah, right.
equal opportunity
Equal.
serial
We're
killers,
feminists, so yeah.
people.
Um. So the other ones, like obviously, like it's not Jack the Ripper, not Jack the Ripper, but the similarities are fun because it's like someone who, you know, wrote letters to the press and there was no arrest and we'll never have any closure on who it was, you know. And then there's murders that they attribute to it when they probably aren't his, things like that. So like that's always kind of fun to be like, you know, did he do everything? Did he do some of them? Is it an opportunity for other people to do it to murder when there's a murderer around? You know,
I mean, I
like.
do think so. When you told me, what'd you say the first one? It was when he did the killing and then left the chalk marks.
Mhm.
The murder that he referred to as 6 years prior.
Yeah,
So there's like, I don't know. From what little I understand, like they don't. That's a crazy cooling off period.
it really
Um,
is.
so it could be like copycats, and then
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
And also he like could have gone somewhere because the other option is there's like obviously the man from the train who we've talked about before is like someone who potentially is like a mass murderer who there's a book called The Man from the Train. I felt it was kind of like not the most solid argument I'd ever heard for it all being one person. But it was like a in that case, they said it was a German man named Paul Mueller who like was just jumping off of trains and going into
Yep,
towns
I
and like
remember
killing
this.
people, you know, and like he could have been the guy in the Hinterkaifeck murders, the ones in
Yep.
Germany. We talked about that too. So like there's that. So like, but with that idea of that kind of murderer, like you can just leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, just
there's
catch
no
the
like
rail, get your bindle.
yeah, there's no evidence that's going to find you, you know, unless you do the exact same thing again somewhere else and someone there happens to have heard the story, like they're never going to connect it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so then the most popular person who they think might have done it, like the most popular suspect, is a guy named Frank Doc Mumphrey, and he died in 1921. And he also had a couple aliases. There was Leon Joseph Montfrey and Manfrey, but he had like a jazz business, and during this time, his jazz business got a big bump because people like wanted to learn how to play jazz more because of this. So they think that like he could have done it because he was like kind of a shady guy. I mean, if you have a couple aliases you're not shady. And but they never like arrested him for anything. And I feel like the chances are high that he maybe wrote the letter and tried to attribute it to the Axeman and make it a jazz associated thing to kind of add to like the allure of like New Orleans and jazz
Ooh,
and murder and all these things.
that's
So like you want to
yeah,
go and do it. So I
that's
my
a really good
yeah.
move.
So my money is that he wrote the letter because he was like, this something's happening, this is fun. And then like some other person killed some people, specifically Italian grocers, and I feel like that potential mafia union thing is up there because you're why
Why
are you
them?
focusing on these people? Yeah. And then it just stopped. So Frank died in 1921. The last murder was in 1919, but like in most cases, like there's like I feel there's three very clear options. Like maybe he moved, the murderer moved, or he was put in jail for something else. Like that happens all the time with serial killers that we know about now. There's a cooling off period of a couple of years because they like went to jail for a minor infraction, but they were not for this. Or maybe he died, you know?
I'm really hung up on the Italian grocer thing because, like,
Yeah.
in a lot of situations, people end up victimizing their own cultures more than
Mm-hmm.
others. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's not insane to think that, like, someone shows up, they speak the same dialect from Sicily, and then, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, it just, you got to pay this money, and if you don't, bad things happen.
Right, right, right,
I've
right,
watched a lot of
right.
movies, that could be it.
Yeah, yeah. That I feel like it makes a lot of sense. But also then I guess wait, a question that just came up to me, but like why would you only hire one guy to do it?
We don't know if it's one guy.
I guess it could be more, but like the people who remember are like there was one man here. They weren't like there was a bunch of guys here. But I guess maybe you could hire one guy.
Subterfuge. Then it's like they're looking for a serial killer and not like the mob, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because also the methods changed, right? Because in one
Mm-hmm.
situation, he's using like a straight edge to cut the
Mm-hmm.
throat, and then another one, he's using the blunt side of an axe to bash in someone's face. Like
Right. Totally.
weird.
But all the weapons were like found in like they were like theirs, which is like he didn't come in with anything. He used like
We
their axe.
we should start like a cold case podcast where we try and solve these things.
I actually kind of now that we're talking about this, I think also there's a good chance it was a demon.
You're really reading the letter too literally.
Because we're ignoring the fact that he confessed that he was a demon
And
and
it's New Orleans.
in New Orleans, he just like he just like flies over and axes people and he can kill everyone. I'm gonna look up this word. I couldn't say it. This Tartarus word. Um, yeah, I don't know.
There's also a woman named Clementine Barnabit, apparently, who
I
was
did look at
a
that. That was scary.
voodoo priestess and axe murderer
Yeah.
during this time who killed 35 people with axes. So that seems like pretty strong
Yeah.
evidence.
Um, the Axeman said he lives in Tartarus, which is the dense, deep, dark abyss beneath the underworld, as a prison for the most wicked mortals and fallen gods.
If it was going to happen anywhere, I could totally see it being New Orleans. It's so
Exactly.
witchy.
Exactly. Like I don't think this is like a story that could happen like that would happen in other
In
places.
Vermont.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 exactly. It's like it's a very and it really is just fucking like that. Like I remember walking through like the little towns and they have like the outskirts of like the city part. There's like cute little houses with their porch and it's
Oh
foggy
yeah.
and it's hot and humid and like it's that Southern Gothic vibe that we talk about. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, one of someone that we know, I'll tell you later, but like his tradition was Halloween in New Orleans every single year. And he
Fun,
was like, it
fun.
is so fun and so moody, and the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
feels like it should be Halloween 24/7, which I totally buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally buy that. I met a woman in Japan who was from Dubai. And she told me that she was driving over a bridge into New Orleans one time and she said, I felt fear like I'd never felt before, like on her
Yeah.
way in. And I was like, I believe you.
Yeah, remember that one woman I covered where Nicolas Cage bought her house, but it was like known as like the torture house
Yeah,
where
yeah,
she
yeah.
like killed all her slaves and like yeah, like there's a lot of gory stories that come out of this place, including this one, which is really, really
Yeah.
fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we settled it though. It's something mob or union oriented.
I think so too.
Or
And I
Demon
also, or
from that one.
Demon. Also, I think I'm pretty sure they cover this in the American Horror Story Coven.
I could not watch that one. I only got a few episodes into it.
There is because there's a man that like the Supreme Witch is like kind of on and off with, but he is the Axeman in the thing.
That's fun.
And he's Danny Houston, like Angelica Houston's cousin. I like him. He's also in that one with the town in Alaska where the 30 days and 30 nights or whatever. 30
Oh
nights
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that guy. He plays the Axeman in it and it's
Oh,
good.
that movie does not hold up. I just watched that again fairly recently, and it was not good.
I feel like I was saying that because like I don't understand the clothes they're wearing. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand how they go through many days with nothing happening. I just have a lot of
Yep,
questions.
yep, same page. Fun. All right, well, we're gonna keep investigating this. If you want to hear us do a podcast on cold cases, tell you remember that time I wrote to the city of Austin for a FOIA request on the yogurt shop murders?
I do. You should still do it because did they find the guy?
They found him, yeah. I mean, it's not a fun story because the guy just killed himself like 30 years
Oh.
ago. Like he's been dead forever. Um, it's and it also I hate stories where it's just like I mean, how many times can you talk about sexual assault? Like you like
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah,
some
yeah.
point it's like you're just like saying it for the sake of saying it. Like it's not fun anymore. Like
Yeah.
so not that it's fun, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's not much beyond the grossness of the whole thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I never did it. But
Yeah. No, that's fair.
well,
That's fair.
thank you for sharing, Taylor.
Yeah. Um, that'll round us out for the year because we're gonna skip the week of New Year's, but then we'll be back in 2026.
Man, how time flies, huh?
Yeah. What a time to.
What
At least we're all still alive
who
so
knows
far.
what 2026 is going to bring? Bloody gums and copper taste. Who knows? Be
There's a
anything.
comedian that I love, and he did the Ghost of Christmas Future. And he just goes, "It's gonna get worse."
Who is it?
God, I'll find him, and I don't know, but
Okay.
he's so funny. But I do have some mail
Yeah, let's hear it.
from Morgan. My friend Morgan is watches Jeopardy, and I just want to say to the person that works at Jeopardy, who is our listener, please email us and say hello, because in the past 2 months, three of the Jeopardy questions have been episodes that we've done, like in the past 2 months.
It's kind of wild.
So from 6 weeks ago, there was the question is, or like the answer is, she's a songwriter behind such hits as If I Could Turn Back Time and How Do I Live? And that is Diane Warren, who wrote Blame It on the Rain. So there's that one. Then just this week, there were two. One of them was Luis Valdez directed and wrote a play that appeared on Broadway about the riots in SoCal named for this title fashion item. Obviously a zoot suit.
Yeah.
Shut up. Then the next day, it was the covert Cold War era MK Ultra program sought to develop means of using this technique on human subjects. What is mind control? What? Like that's the Zoot Suit riots is wild. I feel like why were they thinking about that at the same time I was thinking about it? Just after I did MK Ultra. So come on, don't be shy.
Out yourself.
Out yourself. Send me
Right
an
as
email,
a,
person who works at Jeopardy.
they're gonna they're gonna start with Dear Mortal. Hey, if it's you, you don't even use an alias. Just say like Dear
Yeah,
Mortal.
yeah. You can write to us like you are the jazz man, and we will accept it. That you come from a spot. Don't tell us what rundle you're in Learning League because we know you're better than us. But just say hi because there's I just it's that's wild. Three in like 6 weeks?
Yeah,
That
there's
feels
something there.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just say hi. We want to say hi. Morgan said, "You're a witch."
And
What?
and you're right. This person is absolutely in Learned League. If nobody knows, Learned League is this online trivia thing. It is incredibly well organized. It is run on the honor system, so you're not supposed to Google things. It is so fun and so hard, but it's
It's
like
so
it's
hard.
really fun. When you actually get some stuff right, you're like, oh wow, okay. I know something sometimes.
Um, I'm still mad how last year you got spatchcock as a way to cook a turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but then, far as you were really high up in our group, which is called a rundle. So you flew very close to the sun earlier this year. You're back down, but
Can I tell you,
you,
can I tell you the biggest miss I had?
Hmm.
was the last question from Friday, which had to do with what is the darkest color ever created.
Hmm.
And I put Vanta, even though I knew it's Vanta Black, I put Vanta. I did not get that one, and that one would have given me
Ooh.
3 points if I put Vanta Black. But I was just like, everybody knows it's black, like the darkest,
Right,
like
if they
of
said it was
course,
black.
yeah, they
Ugh.
said it, and then like, and so I was like, like I don't have to say this part, and so I just said Vanta because that's the hard thing to figure out, and they didn't give it to me.
I didn't get Katie Ledecky, and I should be put in jail. I want to put myself in jail for how
I don't know
disappointed I
if
am in
I got
myself.
that, but I definitely got. I put Ledecky. I forgot her first name.
Ugh.
So, anywho, yeah, check out Learned League. You need
Keeps
to
us humble.
actually. Well, here's a reason why you should write to us. You can only get into Learned League through invitation, and
Well, I
Taylor and
know.
I are proud, esteemed members in 21st and 28th place. And so if you would like an invitation to Learned League, write to us, studentoflpod@gmail.com. We love fellow nerds to join us on this journey of humiliation and humility. So
That's what it is. Yep. Indeed.
very fun.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
We'll
Happy
see you
holidays.
on the other side of it.
Sounds good.
All right,
Oh, tell your friends. Write to us, studentofillpod@gmail.com
all the
and everywhere.
things.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Okay,
All
bye.
right, bye.